Nubia met for the first time in a special DC Comics issue, and the two battled in combat before becoming friends. In 1975, actress Teresa Graves was scheduled to play a black female superhero in the Wonder Woman TV series that was based on the Nubia character, but the character was never written into the TV script. DC Comics reintroduced Nubia to readers in the early 2000s, and they finally bring her to the big screen in the Wonder Woman movie franchise. And that's a fact. I'm Big Sue for the Black Information Network.
The news Black America trusts.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 news on San Francisco's BIN 910. Growing up in Oakland, Ariel Gillum, who is black, never envisioned a future filled with jewelry and jackets. Instead, her dreams were focused on jerseys and jump shots.
I grew up playing basketball, so basketball is my first love. So I always felt like basketball was going to be like sort of my ticket or way out.
She tells NBC Bay Area her early years were filled with trouble.
My childhood was a rough upbringing, single-parent household. My mom was in an abusive relationship for 17 years, so grew up in that for the whole time.
She says just about the time her professional basketball dreams began to fade, however, a friend asked Gilliam to style an outfit for a photo shoot. Though Gilliam had always enjoyed fashion, she was voted best dressed in school. She had never considered it a feasible career path until then.
After she got dressed, I was like, wow, I just did what a stylist would do. And I was like, I want to keep doing it, and that's why I pursued it.
Gilliam not only pursued styling, but she also excelled at it, working with international fashion brands, athletes, and artists. Grateful for her success in the career she once thought unattainable, Gilliam is now dedicated to inspiring the next generation in Oakland to believe in themselves. About a year ago, Gilliam pivoted her career from styling to teaching fashion enrichment classes to various organizations and nonprofits to young people. She teaches basics of fabric and style, but her goal is to offer something even bigger. She wants her classes to help build confidence, self-esteem, allowing people to learn to love themselves, especially children, and to receive the love from them, she says, because she knows that sometimes at home, the children, the people that she's trying to reach, don't get that kind of love. She says if she can give a person a hug and they can get joy from that, then she feels like she's done her job. In other news, several California lawmakers will head to Chicago to represent the Golden State at the Democratic National Convention later this month. Senate Pro Tem member Mike McGuire confirms 7 state senators will be excused for 48 hours to attend the major event. Assembly Speaker Mike Rivers added the Assembly plans to send a small group as well. Governor Gavin Newsom is also expected to attend the convention. State legislative leaders assure business will proceed as usual at the California State Capitol when the convention begins on August 19th as lawmakers sift through hundreds of proposed laws. And efforts to clear homeless encampments in San Francisco are slowing down. A judge found the amount of employee training to be inadequate and wants to know how many workers know what to do. The policy calls for giving people 30 minutes to pack up and leave if they refuse shelter. Those who aren't from the area get a ticket back home. The issue now seems to be how the city handles their belongings on the street. And that's a look at what's going on in the Bay Area. For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. On social media, you can follow us on X at BlackInfoNet. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 news on San Francisco's BIN 910.
Looking for ways to help propel human potential? For over 50 years, SEO has been an innovator in youth education, mentorship, and positive peer pressure. Tap into and support the potential of newfound greatness at SEO-USA.org.
Telling the Black American story.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
When was the last time I took a road trip? How many national parks could I hit in 2 weeks? What about hotels? Wait, hey Erica, how much am I spending on travel?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC.
A special thank you to Geico.
A proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
The Equal Justice Initiative is committed to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment by providing legal representation to people who have been illegally convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. Support the cause at EJI.org. Want to save money and reduce your carbon footprint? Try installing a solar water heater or using a solar battery to store excess energy during the day for use at night. Find more tips at #CleanSolar.
Shown the Black Information Network.
Bringing you stories that are important.
Nigeria has severed diplomatic ties with Ukraine, signaling tension between some African states and Kiev.
For and by the Black community.
3 family members have been arrested in connection with an alleged racist incident in Virginia City, Nevada.
The Black Information Network is 24/7 news.
The loan company connected to iFlip Chicago hit them with thousands of dollars in fees.
You can trust.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app. A special thank you to Merck, a proud national partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
Born in Baltimore on September 24th, 1894, Edward Franklin Frazier would graduate from Howard University and become acquainted with sociology while pursuing his master's at Clark University. Becoming an instructor of sociology at Morehouse College in the early 1920s, E. Franklin Frazier would earn his Ph.D. from the University of Chicago in 1932 and publish his first book titled The Negro Family in the United States. Returning to Howard University in 1943, Frazier became chair of the sociology department, co-founded the D.C. Sociological Society, and served as one of its first presidents. 5 years later, he became the first black person to serve as president of the American Sociological Association. Before passing in 1962, Frazier would publish the acclaimed and controversial book, Black Bourgeoisie, criticizing race relations in America. I'm Christy James on the Black Information Network. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund, or TNCF, is helping black students in the black college community achieve their dreams. Students like Brandon Smith, who is the first college graduate in his family.
It's a lot of pressure, but when you get through and you get to the other side, you then feel like, you're that person to your family where they can look at you and believe that, these things can be done even though they haven't been before.
After graduating from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University in May, Brandon now works as a Global Security and Investigations Associate at Fidelity Investments in Dallas, Texas. He gives partial credit for his success to the TNCF, which gave him a $15,000 scholarship.
That scholarship and the programs that I've been able to be a part of through TNCF have significantly increased and assisted me in graduating college. Not only, financially, but also like the networks I've built have made my college journey super smooth, stress-free, and super, insightful to the future.
The free application for student aid, or FAFSA, was also instrumental in Brandon's college experience.
Being black students were always thinking that, I can't pay for college, I can't go. Well, the FAFSA definitely opens doors to a lot of funding from various places. A lot of institutions do require you to do your FAFSA because without your FAFSA, most companies also don't allow you to get outside scholarship opportunities.
Brandon is now helping the TNCF in their Finish FAFSA Find Your Future campaign, which aims to get black college students to submit their application as soon as possible. He says completing the FAFSA is worth the time and energy it takes to do so.
It's a super easy form that has a lifelong benefit. It prevents you from having to pay back $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in debt by just simply completing that FAFSA form. Do your FAFSA, it will change your life.
Visit finishfafsa.com and get your FAFSA in today. You'll be glad you did.
This is America's Black Voice.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
Supposed to stop at a stop sign.
This hour, the Northeast is getting hit with heavy rains thanks to Tropical Depression Debbie.
Some people don't like to stop at stop signs. You know how Napa is. Very rude drivers.
I'm Tyreek Wynn, and that's what's trending. Sports on the Black Information Network.
In the NFL, Brandon Ayuk's days as a Niner are numbered. ESPN reports San Francisco granted permission for the star receiver to negotiate a contract with several interested suitors. The Browns, Steelers, and Patriots are in trade talks with the Niners. New England is willing to make the 26-year-old one of the top 5 highest-paid players at his position. Other teams are reportedly in the mix for Ayuk, who caught 75 passes last season for more than 1,300 yards to go with 7 touchdowns.
The Chicago White Sox season has been described as dismal and disastrous.
Chicago White Sox lost again yesterday. They can't beat anybody ever.
No. It's 21 in a row. It sucks. It's not fun. It's painful. It hurts. I mean, you name
Another
it.
one wants to stop sign.
However you want to describe it. Like I said, it's not for lack of effort. Nobody wants to come out here and lose. After the White Sox lost 21 straight games, the team has fired manager Pedro Grifo after less than 2.5 seasons.
And just when we thought the gymnastics events were over, Romania is protesting the bronze medal that Jordan Childs received for her floor routine. Team Romania is protesting the results with the International Gymnastics Federation, and a review of the floor routine will be conducted. It all comes down to fractions of a point and whether or not the gymnast stepped out of bounds.
Pittsburgh Sports at 14 and 44 past each and every hour.
I'm Morgan Wood, along with Ray Harris on the Black Information Network.
This hour of news is brought to you by CBS, proud founding partner of the Black Information Network.
It was $800 Barry Gordy borrowed from friends and family. $800 in 1959 that would launch an empire, the Motown sound. A blend of pop, R&B, and soul, the Motown sound would claim hundreds of #1 hits, synonymous with countless stars like Smokey Robinson, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and the Jackson 5. Almost every song from its inception until 1971 was backed by the same 12 or so musicians, the Funk Brothers. And while they would be largely unknown, the signature sound would make its mark not just in the music industry, but society at large. This is Patty Jensen for the Black Information Network.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network.
Rapper Young Miami is opening up about her relationship with Diddy, City Girl, motherhood, and mental health in the season 2 debut of the Carisha Please podcast on Revolt.
I've been through a mess about it, into a relationship. And I told myself, I've been in a second relationship, I would never put myself in that situation again. Especially now being a mom. I'm a mom. I was a mother then, but I have a daughter. Like, I would never put myself in that position. I don't stand for the rest of my life. I'm just not going for that. So do you feel like, wait, dating, like, was it a beneficial relationship? Do you feel like it was beneficial for you? I feel like it was beneficial for both of us. I think that, like, you know, I was able to come and be a granny back to the pavilion and take it to a whole nother level, because I feel like, I don't think nobody wasn't drinking pavilion, but I wasn't drinking. But when I came, it was just like, it's a city where summer we drinking pavilion, we acting bad, so I feel like I was an asset.
Young Miami was interviewed by her best friend and fellow rapper Saucy Santana. This comes as Diddy is facing multiple lawsuits accusing him of sexual assault and other lewd acts. And the legendary Patti LaBelle is headed to Tennessee next month. The 80-year-old godmother of soul is celebrating 65 years with the 8065 tour. She's heading to the Tennessee Theater in Knoxville on September 10th and the Orpheum Theater in Memphis on September 12th. The latest in entertainment, I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
The power of information.
Black news here and now.
Walter Anderson was a pianist, professor, composer, and the first African-American man to become head of the music department at Antioch College in 1946. This made him the first black man to chair a department outside of the nation's historically black colleges. The Zanesville, Ohio native attended Oberlin College and studied music at the Berkshire Music Center and Cleveland Institute of Music in his youth. Anderson was a pioneer in the academic world, and in 1968, he was appointed Director of Music Programs at the National Endowment for the Arts. At the NEA, he developed grant guidelines that garnered private sector support for the arts. And in 1979, he was awarded the Special Citation for Distinguished Service to the Arts. Walter Anderson passed away in November of 2003, but his legacy continues to live on through numerous accolades and his variations in orchestration. And that's a fact. I'm Wesson Tishome for the Black Information Network.
I'm Mimi Brown. And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. VP Kamala Harris is rallying support from union workers in her 2024 presidential bid. Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, met with United Auto Worker members on Thursday in Detroit.
I am so deeply honored, as a lifelong supporter of union labor, for Tim and I to have the endorsement of UAW.
Harris thanked the union for endorsing her presidential campaign as the ticket hopes to win the crucial battleground state of Michigan in November. Harris and Walz are also hosting campaigns in a number of swing states this week, including Arizona. And a video obtained by NBC Chicago Investigates shows former Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson predicting his release from jail, where he claims he's being held for his own safety. Grayson is charged with first-degree murder and other offenses for the July 6th shooting of Sonia Massey, to which he pleaded not guilty. In a video dated July 17th, Grayson expressed hope that he would be released soon, citing the Safety Act as a potential reason for his release.
Yeah, no, this whole new Safety Act. That's why I hope they'll be out tomorrow. Yeah.
Body cam footage shows Grayson firing 3 shots at Massey after she said, quote, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," end quote. He claimed self-defense, alleging she held a pot of boiling water. The case has sparked criticism of Grayson's actions and law enforcement's use of deadly force. And thanks to redistricting, there's a new black-majority congressional district in Louisiana. A handful of candidates are running for that seat, but one of them is now out of the race. A federal appeals court says that Leslie Chambers should be removed. There are concerns surrounding her state's income taxes. She is chief of staff for the Louisiana Housing Corporation. There are also questions about her residency.
Okay.
She has not lived in the district for 1 year. And prominent Catholic influencer Bishop Robert Barron is criticizing society's focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. He says it clashes with the celebration of athletic excellence at the Olympics. In an interview with Fox News Digital, Barron cited Olympic gymnast Simone Biles. He explained that her success came from being the best and excluding others by nature. Barron argues that pushing for equal outcomes undermines individual achievement in sports. He supports equality of opportunity, but believes that striving for equity of outcome is unjust and contradicts competitive sports. And legendary photojournalist Roy Lewis has captured a wide range of subjects, from children dancing to presidents and civil rights leaders. Last week, the National Association of Black Journalists honored him for his decades of documenting Black America. Born in Mississippi, Lewis moved to Chicago at 17 and started working for Johnson Publishing Company, where he photographed key moments and figures during the civil rights movement for Ebony and Jet magazine. I'm Mimi Brown, along with Bree Wood, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
And they always have to back in.
Nearly 10% of all black college students and produce 17% of all black graduates with bachelor's degrees. Learn how you can support HBCUs at uncf.org.
The biggest black news every 30 minutes.
The Black Information Network, the Bay Area, BIN 910. Your money on the Black Information Network.
When you hear the name AAA, you probably think about roadside assistance. The company advertises a classic plan that starts around $59 a year, a plus plan that starts around $95 a year, and a premium plan that runs about $122 a year. Now that you know how much it can cost, let's get to the good part. According to AAA.com, if you go to the company's website and sign up now,
I'm leaving. Fuck him. Fuck him, he can walk home. Fuck him. I'll get paid. Waste gas coming to... Yeah, I have to pay for that myself. Fuck you.
benefits whether you are a driver or a passenger in another vehicle. All you have to do is call. AAA also offers auto and homeowners insurance, discounts on travel, hotels, car rentals, flights, and cruises. Discounts on AMC theaters, Regal, Cinemark, and Showcase cinemas are also advertised on their website. So even if you only use them once a year, it will probably save you money and give you peace of mind. Funny news at 24 and 54 minutes past each hour, I'm Nicole Deal on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Headlines every 30 minutes. Breaking news at once.
The Black Information Network. Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Bree Wood. And I'm Amy Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. ABC has announced that former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris have agreed to a debate on... The Vice President briefly spoke with reporters after her rally in Detroit, Michigan. She said she's looking forward to it.
Well, I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Additionally, the Vice President was asked about participating in more debates. She said she'd be happy to...
The fuck now?
Incoming call from Kevin Linham identified by True Caller.
Issues too. What the fuck? Like, stop getting mad over nothing. Damn, you don't own me. Oh, you don't want to force me into this stupid job dealing with the extreme mentally ill.
Along with Mimi Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Your Healthy Minute is up next.
Black Americans are at higher risk for some neurological disorders, and researchers in Baltimore and Maryland are investigating why.
Stop with the increase. I'm so fucking sick of it. Damn. You don't need to be all mad. You don't own me. We're not even together, but for some reason you're obsessed about that. Like, we're not together. Stop. You know, you need to let it go. I broke up with you a couple of years ago, but you still refuse to accept that. You don't know why. Not my problem.
European ancestry affect gene expression in brain cells. We discovered that genetic ancestry had a significant impact on gene activity in immune cells and blood vessel cells, which may explain the differences in these disease risks. That's your Healthy Minute. I'm covering 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Trusted Black News.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
Stretching from West 82nd to West 89th Street, Seneca Village was an African-American enclave that flourished. Home to 225 residents in 1855 with a population roughly two-thirds African-American, Seneca Village offered a serene landscape away from the urbanized scenery of downtown Manhattan. For 32 years, it served as a safe haven for African-Americans and fostered a tight-knit community. Approximately half the African-American population owned their own home in the village and with it the right to vote. But by 1853, the New York legislature enacted a law that would erase the area for the creation of Central Park. Eminent domain would be used to acquire the land, and while owners were compensated, many believed their land was undervalued. To justify its destruction, a racist smear campaign targeted
historical records and excavated artifacts have uncovered the rich history that was once Seneca Village. And that's a fact. I'm Ashley Young on the Black Information Network.